Hello and welcome everyone to this platform. Today we will decode clause. It is the basic structure of a sentence. First we must know what is a clause. A clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a predicate. What is a subject? Subject is who or what the sentence is about, and predicate is what the subject is doing or being. We must remember that a clause contains at least a subject and a verb. Next, we can classify the clause in two parts. First is independent clause, that is also known as the main clause. In, in the independent clause, we have a subject and a verb. Okay, and the subject and verb always makes a complete sense. But next we have a dependent clause. What does a dependent clause do? It takes a subordinating conjunction at the beginning, then we have subject and the verb. Okay, then we have subject and the verb. Okay, then the question arises, what is the difference between a subordinating and a main clause? The main difference is an independent clause or main clause can stand alone. Okay, can stand alone as a complete sentence, but dependent clause cannot stand alone. Okay, and must attach to an independent clause. Next, we must know what is subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction is uh, the words that links a dependent clause and a independent clause. Okay, the such words are because, while, whenever, and etc. Okay, we can classify the dependent clause according to their function in three parts. First part is noun clause. What does a noun clause do? A noun clause functions as a noun and can serve as subject, object, or a complement. For example, I know what he said. In this sentence, what he said acts as a object. Okay, so this is a noun clause. Then we have adjective clause. What does adjective clause do? It modifies a noun or a pronoun and acts as a noun phrase. This modifies a noun or a noun phrase or a noun phrase. Okay, this answers questions like which one, what kind, etc. They usually begin with a relative pronoun such as who, which, or that. Okay. Next, the third one is adverbial clause. What does adverbial clause do? These function as adverbs modifying an entire predicate argument structure to express time, place, manner, or condition. Then we will classify each of them in detail. But before classifying, we must understand where this clause is used. First, in simple sentence. In simple sentence, it consists only an independent clause. Okay, one independent clause can be stayed here, and in the compound sentence, we have two or more independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. Okay. Next, we have the complex sentence. In complex sentence contains at least one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Okay. Now we will understand noun clause in detail. To understand what is a noun clause, we have to do some tests. First, we have substitution test. If you can replace an entire string or entire phrase with a pronoun like he, she, it, or they, then the sentence is a noun clause. Okay, and we can still identify them by some other test like introductory words. If we see the words like that, who, whoever, whether, why, what, how, when, and where, we can easily identify them into noun clause. Okay, next we have the placement test. We can place the noun clause. The noun clause often follow a verb and an object. Okay, this usually sits in the beginning of a sentence and acts as a subject. Okay, next we have ad- adjective clause. An adjective clause, we can identify them using the question test. First, we must ask which one or what kind regarding the noun immediately preceding the clause. Okay. Next, we have introductory words. Introductory words, if we see these words like who, whom, whose, which, that, or a relative adverb like when, where, why, we can easily identify them as adjective clause. And we have the placement test also. The adjective clause always follows the noun. Okay. Next, we have adverbial clause. In adverbial clause, the easiest way is the movement test. If we can, if we can move a clause in the beginning of the sentence followed by a comma, this is a adverbial clause. Let's check it with a example. The first sentence we have, that is, my sister cried because she scraped her knees. If we move this part, the italic part, that is, because she scraped her knees, comma, my sister cried, we can easily see that it is a adverbial clause. Next, we have introductory words. If we find the words like after, because, before, if, although, when, this is a example of adverbial clause. Okay. Next we have mm, next let's solve some simple questions. Okay. First question we have, he was a man whom everyone admired. So if we see that this sentence contains the word whom, and it modifies the noun man. So the placement test is checked and the introductory word is checked. So we can easily say that it is an adjective clause. Next, we have this sentence. It says, I hope that my uncle will visit me. We can do the substitution check here. We can place this entire clause, we can replace this entire clause with the word I hope, it, substituting this part, that is that is that my uncle will visit me. We can write it in place of this entire clause that says that my uncle will visit me. Okay. Next, we have introductory word that. We can see that it is the word that here. It is the word that here, and we can easily identify it as a noun clause. Okay. Next, the sentence is, he could not walk further as he was tired. So what can we check here? First, we must find where is the clause here. He could not walk further. as he was tired. So it is telling us a condition. So which clause tells us a condition? It is the adverbial clause. See, it also begins with a subordinating conjunction as and expresses a condition. So it is easily we can identify it as adverbial clause. Next we have also some questions. First, they live in a place where it is always cold. So what are the tests we can run here? First, we can do check the introductory word where, and then we can check that it modifies the noun place. It modifies the noun place. Okay, so place noun is modified by this word, and we can easily say that it is a adjective clause. Next we have question number 5 that says, my friend took me to a garden which was beautiful. So what are the tests we can run here? First, it describes the noun garden, and it has the introductory word which, so we can easily say it is also an adjective clause. Okay. Similar to the question number 4. And next we have question number 6. It says the artist hoped that he would win an award. So what this, how can we check this? We can substitute this part that he would win an award with the word it. Okay, with the word it. So the substitution test is checked here, and next we can do check that the introductory word that is here, so it is a noun clause. So, and the direct object is hoped, that we would win an award is placed after the verb hoped. So it is a noun clause. Okay. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.